For this week's Pro-Life Focus, we discuss the scientific argument to overturning Roe v. Wade. The pro-life research group, the Charlotte Lozier Institute, submitted an amicus brief in this week's Dobbs Supreme Court case, arguing the High Court needs to reconsider its previous abortion rulings because the scientific understanding of human life has greatly expanded since 1973. Here's part of the brief, quote, "Scientific and technological advancements since Roe and Casey have cemented the state's compelling interests in protecting human fetal life long before viability. For example, 4D ultrasonography has revolutionized the study of fetal behavior and neurology, giving direct and convincing proof of fetal discernment, intentionality, and sociality from as early as 12 weeks of life." I am joined now by two pro-life scientists, Dr. David Prentice, Vice President and Research Director of the Charlotte Lozier Institute, and Dr. Tara Sander Lee is Director of Life Sciences at the Charlotte Lozier Institute. Welcome to you both. Thank you for being here for this big week. Tara, I want to start with you. Your group recently put out an image on social media showing how much ultrasound technology has evolved since Roe v. Wade. Can you just speak about that? How has ultrasound technology evolved over the years?
Ultrasound technology has advanced tremendously in the last 50 years. So if we look back to at the time of Roe, ultrasound was new, the equipment was bulky, had poor resolutions. What we could see of the unborn inside the womb was basically black dots on a white background, or white dots on a black background, or white background, really grainy, right? You could barely pick out the unborn. But now today, ultrasound advanced rapidly after Roe, and we have now an unprecedented view of the unborn inside the womb. We can have 3D and 4D ultrasounds, real-time imaging. The pictures are so clear. I mean, we all have seen, ultrasound images, pictures on the refrigerator of the unborn inside the womb. My own son, I proudly put up his picture inside the womb, and that little nose that I saw in ultrasound is still the same, the nose he has now,
That's precious.
So it's just advanced so much. We can see the unborn so much more clearly.
It tells us the truth. David, you say Roe versus Wade is unscientific and outdated. What are some other examples of scientific advancements over the years? We know a lot more about fetal development, don't we?
We definitely do that, and certainly we can see conscious behavior so that at 14 weeks, these little babies can discern the difference between music and noise. At 12 weeks, they can start to experience pain. And I know you probably heard Justice Sotomayor mention yesterday that fetal pain didn't really exist, and it was only believed by a small fringe of doctors. Well, one of those doctors is Dr. Stuart Derbyshire, who is one of the world's leading pro-choice neuroscientists. And he had been an opponent, didn't believe in fetal pain until just a couple of years ago. He took an honest look at the science, the mounting evidence, and a year ago published a paper stating that as early as 12 weeks, these little babies in the womb can experience pain. And that realization has now become the standard of care when they do fetal surgery as early as 15 weeks. And it's realized that they can respond to painful stimuli and they need painkillers to prevent suffering.
Wow, that's incredible. Tara, this Supreme Court case centers on Mississippi's pro-life law that bans abortions at 15 weeks of pregnancy. What do we know about the development of a 15-week-old baby?
We know so much about the development of a 15-week-old baby. We know that by 15 weeks, the unborn baby has a functional beating heart that has already beaten nearly 16 million times. That baby has arms and functioning arms and legs and fingers and toes that are wiggling. Not only that, but they exhibit complex behaviors and facial expressions, so they can yawn, they can hiccup. But what's really exciting is that we even know that by that point they know if they're left-handed or right-handed. So they have a preference for whether they suck their left or right thumb. I mean, so it's incredible how much they've advanced by 15 weeks.
Absolutely.
And that's why Mississippi's law is not extreme, because we know that if we look at the European countries, 47 out of 50 countries, European countries,
have more. Even more extreme.
Even more extreme.
We have less than a minute left, but I want to ask you, David Prentice, how has this concept of viability developed over the past 50 years?
Well, as Justice Blackmun put it, when he wrote the decision, it was arbitrary. At that point, they thought 28 weeks was the limit. by the turn of the century, 24 weeks. And we've heard stories this year of babies born at 21 weeks and a day or 2 days. And there's been half a century of scientific and medical advance, and we would hope that Justice Sotomayor and Justice Kagan would follow the science.
Absolutely. We're going to leave it at that. Thank you both for joining me here for this important discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.